people of YouTube, this is Gray's Guitars. My name is Steve Gray and thank you for watching. Today we are going to be talking about the Gibson / Epiphone heel joint, or the Axcess heel versus the modern heel joint. Matt Hafey from Trivium. I just showed you, I think I mentioned a video a couple of days ago or a week or so ago about his new signature models that have the new modern heel joint as opposed to the Axcess heel joint, where his old guitars had the Axcess heel joint, and now he switched to the modern heel joint. And the reasoning behind it is kind of weird, but at the same time I see it. While the Axcess heel joint is more theoretically aesthetically pleasing, the modern heel joint apparently is actually more comfortable, supposedly, but I'll give you my 2 cents on that as well. Let's just take a look at this quick little video here. I'll show you all the different types of heel joints, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it's not the way your hand conforms. It's not round at all. So it becomes a hard edge. Right?
So basically what he's saying is right here on the edge of the guitar, I'll bring up the image of the heel right here. So this is not round. So this is square, and when you get up here to around the 15th fret or so, it becomes a problem, because instead of, your thumb kind of conforming to the roundness, it's actually jamming into the corner, making it slightly uncomfortable. One way to easily fix this would simply just instead of making this a corner right here, just make this round, and then there you go, problem solved. Because this part right here is basically a 90-degree angle, so that's kind of one of the flaws with this particular joint.
Right here, see this hard edge? Don't focus on my janky finger, but it becomes a hard edge.
And now let's get into the modern.
Concerned about it's still there. It still has that prettiness. People are just seeing this, but you do want that roundness, because when you're playing around here, you're playing kind of like sweep stuff. Playing sweep stuff, you want your thumb to sit in this pocket, and you do want.
And now what he's saying here is, you want this pocket, you want the rounded heel joint, because at this point you are not, hitting a 90-degree angle. You're hitting something round. It conforms to your finger. And this is what it looks like here. This is a close-up of the modern heel joint. And I hate to say it, this is kind of one of those things where I agree and disagree at the same time. So both of these are going to give you better access. There's no question about there. Ultimately, what's more comfortable for you is that is up to your decision. But I understand that this is, kind of a nice little pocket, but at the same time, because this is flush, if you put your thumb on the back of the guitar and you don't wrap it around the side, then you're not going to really have a problem. You're not going to be hitting that 90-degree angle, where if you go back to the modern, which is more like the standard traditional neck joint, because you have this round piece here, yes, you're not getting a straight 90-degree angle, and it is round on the corner. But at the same time, wrapping your thumb right around this edge isn't really going to be any different than wrapping your thumb right around this edge. The major difference is this corner goes up a little bit higher. So the only thing Gibson would have to really do to fix that problem and make it perfectly fine is just round this edge off. You grind it down a little bit, and you're good to go. They may not be able to do that because, yes, it is still technically a set neck, so there's only so much you can do with that. But at the same time, like, you have these kind of funky designs where you're taking a huge chunk out of the guitar. I have heard from multiple people. Everybody seems to be under the same consensus that they do not really care for the modern heel joint. I mean, some people, they're traditionalists, so they just want it to be, flat and regular and bulky as it is. But I don't. The Axcess is definitely prettier. 100%. This is prettier than this. But who's seeing the back of your guitar? And he's saying, there's science behind it and geometry and everything, because this is round. There's the difference. So you still have all of the Axcess, but this is round, so it's going to be a little bit more comfortable. I don't agree, because I don't wrap my thumb around the heel. I hate to tell you that, I really don't. But I guess it kind of depends on the player. It ultimately does depend on the player, how you play. I have played an Axcess heel joint. I have not yet played a modern heel joint, so I will give you that information right now. And it is just beautiful. I plant my thumb somewhere in the middle. I do not wrap my thumb around this corner. For me, this is not a problem. When I'm playing at the high frets, my thumb is in this area. In all honesty, my thumb is right smack dab in the middle of this area. But at the same time, there's plenty of other things Gibson can do. The reason Gibson is doing this is because they want to be, innovation, things along those lines. They got to be different. They can't copy somebody else. People copy them. They don't copy other people. But at the same time, you look at something like an ESP. This is it was an EC LTD EC 1000 or 401. They're all similar, but what they do is they completely change it. So the neck is kind of rounded, as you can see here. The body itself is rounded as well, and then you got this nice fat contour for your hand to sit in, where it's not a problem. Where you don't generally have that issue. Not to mention belly cuts. Fat guys, we enjoy our belly cuts, but there's plenty of ways to do this that have been proven to work better. Let me see if I can click on this image to make it bigger. The new neck joint is what they're calling this. Oh, let's see, we got an image here. Of course we don't have an image. Heaven forbid we have an image when I click on an image. But it's nice. I played ESP guitars. They're nice. Let's even do like a Dean neck joint. See what we got going on there. Let's see. They don't really have. Let's see if they have a Les Paul. I know they have a Les Paul style guitar. I don't remember what their version of it is. Yeah, here we go. Beautiful. And they just go straight sideways. This is completely round, so you can get up to that higher fret access, no problem. So different companies have different ways of doing this, ultimately. But at the same time, I don't think this is going to catch on. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments down below. If you played both of these, the Axcess and the modern neck joint, let me know what's more comfortable. I am very curious what your thoughts are, specifically on the Les Paul, because they do kind of do this on the other guitars as well, but it's more of a slight change and not something as big as this. Obviously, you have a lot more wood to work with here. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think is more comfortable? Obviously, I'm assuming the bulk of you are going to say, oh, the Axcess is more aesthetically pleasing. It looks nicer. Maybe this feels nicer because it's smooth. Where it's like this, all they really did is they took the CNC machine and were like, okay, let's take off, I don't know, that looks like about 1/4 of an inch. Let's just take off 1/4 of an inch here. I mean, this isn't rounded. This is still going to be a sharp angle as it is with a regular joint. So I guess it ultimately depends where you plant your thumb. Now he's saying because, with the science behind it, the reason they did it this way is because it's round. So when you hit this point, it's round. But I'm perfectly fine with this being round in the back of the guitar or flat. It would be very easy for them to just slightly modify this. As opposed to, completely redoing it. Obviously, this was under the old CEO. This is under the new CEO, which may be causing part of the problem there too. But I hope they go back to this, because this was a great design. They just need to, tinker with it a little bit more. Make this round as opposed to making this a, kind of 90-degree angle, and problem solved. You don't have a hard edge anymore. You are wrapping your thumbs around something that actually conforms to your finger, and I'm sure it would feel and play great. So let me know, yet again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. The new Prophecy series have the modern, this style, heel joint. The Matt Hafeys are going to have this, and pretty much the modern series for the next couple of years, you're probably not going to be able to get an Axcess heel joint anymore, because this is the future right here. Unfortunately, at least that's what they think is the future. The modern heel joint has only been out, I think, for about a year now. I think they released these in 2020, if I remember correctly, with the Gibson and Epiphone modern line. So we'll see how people take to it. The feedback on it is mostly negative. I'll be honest with you. Some people, as I said, Matt Hafey is saying, oh, it feels better to him. He likes it better. but a lot of players are saying they don't like it. They would rather have the Axcess, or so maybe they can go back and perfect the Axcess. We'll just have to wait and see. And just the rest of this video is basically just him playing and saying that it feels better. This is one of those things where it's very hard to explain because you literally have to have your hands physically on the guitar to notice the difference. And if you don't have them side by side, which is we're kind of, I can't imagine that many people have both of these heel joints. The only Epiphone that actually has this, the Axcess, I should say, to my knowledge, is the Matt Havey. They never did anything else with Epiphone. So if you want an Axcess, you have to get a Gibson 9 out of 10, because trying to find an old Matt Havey signature is pretty hard. They're going for like $800 right now, as I mentioned in my previous video. The moderns you can get no problem, because Epiphone has those lined up fairly easily. Gibson has those lined up fairly easily as well. But trying to physically get both of them and compare them and figure out which one you like better, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. I think it's ultimately going to come down to what features on the guitar you want, what you want the guitar to look like, things along those lines. So yet again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and as always, this is Gray's Guitars, and have a good one.